Hey everyone. So the next thing I want to cover when I'm talking about the updates that we've done in the past month, leading into the Core Web Vitals released by Google is something much bigger. So we want to be able to get rid of footprints and in a lot of ways. We want to continue creating variability at this constantly better level. So let me see if I can explain this in a way that you'll get real quick. So I have a list of clickable links, okay? They go to whatever destination URLs are in our lists, okay? And you can see I labeled them certain ways. So there's backlinks that are geo, and that's this group here. And then we just happen to pull the videos in right below it. And then what do we have? We have backlinks that are no geo, that's here. And then we have cross links that are geo. That means that if we're doing multiple super affiliate websites for you, then they are not the destination website of choice, right? They're not the one that you're really trying to promote, but there are a bunch of other backlinking sites that help promote you. So we want to drive their rank up too. So we cross-link across those backlinking sites as well as linking to you directly. Backlinks to you and then cross-links. That's kind of what we mean by that. Okay? Then what? Then we have cross-links that are no geo, right? So we have crosslinks that are geo, crosslinks that are no geo. Now what? We have to continue on with the right kind of formulas for Google to consider the backlink profile to be great. So we have backlinks with URL as the anchor text. So the clickable link by itself looks like the URL, okay? Now what? Now we have generic anchor texts, things like choose from here, browse around here about this. There's this huge list of these, right? Getting pulled out, and so there's a bunch. We can clean this list up too. I don't even like some of these. But we put this big list in so we can make sure that's coming out differently from page to page to page, right? Then there's external authority links, okay? And these link out to big name websites or big name web pages. That's the idea, to get extra clout and authority to this web page, right? And the last section I'm going to have in here are just inner page links. That means that we're going to link to these inner pages of the websites, right? Okay, now that way we're creating all of these pages with all of these links in such a way that Google's going to like the way this goes. It's going to look valuable. So would these links appear on a page like this normally? Of course not. The only reason I stuck them all in one place, and actually there's two reasons. One, so that I could check from page to page to page. I could make sure that they're coming out as differently as they should. Because in the beginning, of course, I didn't get the coding right. I wasn't thinking it through right. And so a bunch of these would come out the same way when they needed to be variable. Okay, so it just took a little nailing that down, but putting them all in one place like this allowed me to quickly compare them. Okay, the other reason is that there's a lot of randomized selection happening in here, and so it gave us a chance to check how much the sort of randomized nested variable selection would affect page speed. So by putting a lot of them on the page, we could rule out whether these are causing issues with page speed. So that's cool. All right, here's what I want to say. As much as these look like really basic links, they are not. These are literally looking up variables that look up other variables, that cite combinations that look up still other variables to get really different results. And I'm going to point out what that's like, first on the front end, then on the back. So sometimes... And let me come up here to the geo, I guess, just to make the point. So if you were to kind of memorize this, you might see what you would think. Like a keyword in city, right? Commercial real estate in city. Okay, fine. But then I'm going to go to the sitemap and pull up some other pages. I already did that. I just opened up a few more. So this one, what have we got? City comes first. Then commercial real estate would be the keyword. And then comes this extension, advantages. Now, those of you that understand var sheets, you'll realize suddenly that that is new because, see, this, here, let me scoot this out of the way. This is what it's supposed to be. I mean, you can imagine it in the coding. There's a token for a keyword. It's probably like keywords 1. And that would be the column that would have keywords like commercial real estate. And then there would be a static word on the page in, and then there would be another token for city. So it'd be like keywords 1 token in city token. Well, wouldn't that mean that if we go to the exact same place on some other page, it's going to have the exact same format? No, this is city. So this would be like city token, keywords 1 token, and then extender token. Like this advantages or videos or training or features or benefits, something like that, right? Isn't that different? Because these are not just put into a list like that. This is pulled totally from different combinations of columns. So that one page and another page do not have the same footprints. Google cannot get the feeling that it's keywords token in city token because it's going to see keywords token in city token, keywords token in city token, keywords token in city token, keywords token in city token throughout all the pages in the same place. Like if that first link really is going to exist on page 1, paragraph 1, like somewhere in here or maybe somewhere in here, then Google would see that the fourth sentence in the second paragraph always has a city in a keywords in city token, but we don't want that. We don't want that, right? So we wanted to be able to erase that footprint altogether. We can still control the combinations and decide how to use them in the sentences so that the sentences work with the combinations. We have total control over that. But the advantage of doing something like this is that Google does not see anything similar about these layouts. They are different. This is just city and keyword, and that's it. Okay? That's, different city and a keyword and probably an extender for shop. I don't know. I'd have to go double check. This is just keyword training video. There's not even a geo on it this time. On purpose. Because geo can include non-geo as far as we're concerned. Non-geo should not include geo, right? But geo could or not include non-geo. This is just we made it possible to test that way to make sure that these pages can do that. So can you imagine when you're creating the pages and all of these links are not just like this, of course, they are spread properly throughout all the paragraphs, okay? We've got 5,000 words. And we've only got like 60 links or so. If it was 50 links for 5,000 words, it's only 1 link per 100 words. Perfectly fine. And we don't need to use all of these, but they are in the var sheet. All the combinations. You know what's even funner? This is using combinations. See that HTTP? Sometimes it's HTTP. Sometimes it's HTTPS. Sometimes it's HTTPS with www. Guess what? Those go random. From page to page to page, when we scroll down, they're not in the same order. But do you know what? The URLs are all just simply https://link, right? And that's different than the display. Why? Because we want to make sure the link is the real link that will really, really work. So we're not going to use variations on the real link that you would click on, but Google expects that some of these things will come out differently in print. And we've got it. We've got that combination. So this is pointing at the right website. That's pointing at the right website. Normally you would not see 2, of course. It's just because I happen to drag some columns over. So it's choosing randomly from one column, randomly from another. Okay. But normally we wouldn't do that, of course. We'd just be more careful that all of these are different in each column, right? We take our big list and then split it into steps. And besides, we would do this for pages of websites so that we get links to the inner pages, get juice to the inner pages as well as the front page, okay? All of these combinations. So I think you get it. So by the time we get this out to you guys, these are not going to be gumming up the pages like this at all. No, the page will start where it's supposed to start. New Year Realtor, for example, would be the first thing you see right here, okay? None of these links will be here. None of these videos will be here. None of these links will be here. No, the page will just start like a page. But these stacks will be split and spread throughout the paragraphs of all the pages. So you're going to see the links appearing like here and here and here and here and here, right? And then when we go through the next pages of the website, the pages in the menu, all right, that's where more are going to be. They're going to be showing up here and here and here and here and here and here and so on throughout the entire project, right? All of them done the right way so they look sensible inside the paragraphs or as individual callouts at the bottom or something like that. Having said that, okay, it's cool exactly because it erases the footprints. That's one part of it. I want to show you how much further this goes, though, even more than that, because this will blow your mind. Let me just copy one of these because it's like really, really unique wording, right? So if I go to the source code of the page, I want to point something else out, just how far this variability goes that we can control with our var sheets now. I'm going to do a control find for that thing. Okay, found it. Now, this is going to be hard to see. Let me see if I try to do this like that. Okay, maybe it'll be easier to see. This is astounding if you know anything about this. So, what are the attributes of a URL? Usually have the open A, and then you've got your href equals, and that's your URL. Then you might have target equals underscore blank if it's to open in a new tab, or underscore self if it's to open in the same tab. Okay. And what else? Rel, R-E-L. And let me see if I can find one of those. Rel equals, if I don't find it, maybe I didn't turn it on this page or what. Rel equals follow or no follow. Ah, here it is. Like this, right? Rel equals follow or no follow. So there's probably a no follow around here somewhere. Anyway, yeah, like if I were to do a no follow, but I'll lose my place. So here's the point. Every link has to have at least two of these things. It has to have the link that we're supposed to click to, and it has to have the wording that we see. It can optionally have the target tag, and it can optionally have the rel tag. So you know what we did, and I've got this kind of out of order. I got to make sure, because there's no point in having it twice. It won't hurt. It's just not helpful. We did it so that these links don't even follow the same format. I've asked guys, it's like, what is the proper order for this? And guys will say, oh, isn't it this? They'll say, isn't it open A, and then the href has to be next, then the target. And then if you've got it, the rel tag is next too, right? It's like, okay, you're explaining those pieces, right? Href, target, rel, and then finally the wording here. But those attributes, this is an attribute, that's an attribute, and then the rel is also an attribute. They can be in any order. It can be open A tag, and then immediately can be, let's see if I can just see one right away, because they are actually showing up in different orders, but it's hard to see that because they tend to select similarly in the beginning. And then as you go through the pages, they're not anymore. They are not. So like A, target equals blank comes first. Then the A or the href, right? And no rel this time. But all these links are mixing and matching these combinations. And we can weight them. We can have it do one of these combinations more often than the rest. But sometimes it's got href, then target, then rel. Sometimes href, then rel, then target. Sometimes target, then href, then rel. Sometimes rel, then href, then target. Sometimes rel, then target, then href, right? Or target, rel, href. And we can weight the combinations to make Google think that the standard way is a href, then target, then rel. But then we can also have other combinations. Why? Looks human. Looks like different people did these things. And this breakdown in the coding at a code level runs through all 50,000 pages that we auto-generated at the rate of 500 pages a second. Oh, it's not 500, is it? 2,500 pages a second. Yeah, that's nuts. So the only thing I have to do is finish cleaning up a little bit of this, like where it's getting the duplication. I know how that's happening. It's simple. I'll clean it up. I didn't really care. I mean, we were just doing this to get all of this in a place, right? And test it. But we did test it, and it works, and it's awesome. It really works incredibly well. So now, as you read through the paragraphs, and these links are in different places in the different paragraphs of the different pages, the footprint's broken. They don't follow the same format. Some of them skip the rel equals. Some of them skip the target equals. Do you get it? So all of the combinations are naturally different and look humanly constructed. All the combinations. So when Google's looking for the variations it needs to see for a proper backlinking profile, we've mastered it and we can run it at any scale we wish. And all of the combinations are there that Google wants to see. Anything that acts like no geo, anything that acts like geo, anything that we do for our crosslinks to keep separate our lists of who the client is and then who the other backlinking sites are, and how often we want to wait for the client to get the most links, and how much we want to wait to spread across the other backlinking websites so they also have great weight. And then also URLs like this with the different visible combinations, okay? Because Google wants to see that. You know, another one of these can be and is on some of the pages. It just says www. Some of them, no HTTP, www at all. It just says the domain name. I just have to keep going through the pages and you'll see the different combinations appearing and you'll realize that that's what's happening, right? So yeah, there you go. But most of it is weighted for the HTTP visually because it's just the most common. But again, we can change the weights. We can absolutely change the weights. Okay, how's that for crazy? That's what I wanted to cover in this. It's called Backlink Mastery, and it means that we can erase footprints at this level. And let me tell you, the thing that makes this possible is 5-level deep nested variables, and that is so powerful. It's not actually a parlor trick anymore. It is fundamentally a game changer. So this video went over this topic. The next topic is going to go over what it really means with this new update we did, because we're just scratching the surface with it right now, and you'll see. Okay.